We're back again with Yanick from the Big Bounce Theory, and today we wanted to talk about a topic that comes up sometimes. It's actually following the rules in the Big Bounce Theory's contract, and there's good reasons for it. You had recently a Canada Day event, and we've had a particularly rainy season this time of year.
Yes.
And tell us what happened. Tell us a story.
So at Canada Day this year, we were in Thorhild, and we just set up our event there, and it started to pour. But I think I would have jumped in the water. I would have been more dry than just sitting there out in the rain. So it was really, really bad. And then sure enough, when comes rain, comes a lot of mud. And so this is what happened. And so the units became a mud pit entirely. It was disgusting. And, it's important that when it rains, we tell our customers all the time, make sure you fold the unit in half, make sure you cover the unit, right? Like keep it safe, bring the blower indoor or somewhere away from the rain. But that was not done that day. And literally that took us a week and a half to clean this unit entirely. So it's no joke when we say that, follow the rules in the contract. We don't put it there because when we want to give you more work, it's really because, there's a lot of work involved if this isn't followed properly.
So it rained right before the event, and then people started going through the bouncy castle, the obstacle course, and it started getting muddy. Was there any way to prevent that? I mean, if the ground is muddy, like how do you prevent that from happening?
There's not a lot of ways to prevent it, especially where it was. It's kind of, I think it was like not a campground, similar to a campground where there's not really any pavement, right? It's all rock and grass and mud. So, I mean, the best way would have been to probably just move the unit, I believe, after the rain. It's just kind of, where it was, obviously, it was calling for a mud pit, right? It was kind of like grass, but like a bit of dirt, not really grass. Anyways, so it would probably, would have been easier to just move it away from, this mud pit because there's probably puddles of water everywhere. I guess, there's not a whole lot of ways to change it, but it's just, most of it became from just the rain falling down and kind of like bouncing into the unit, all the dirt bouncing in, and then the kids kind of like just like spreading it around everywhere, right? So it's just, that's why it's important to find a place that is good for the bounce castle to set up, and it's not in a mud pit or it's not in dirt, because if there's rain, then, what comes after rain? A lot of mud.
And sometimes, maybe it's not able to be avoided. So what is the charge for cleaning after the fact?
Well, it varies from event to event, like from, not from event to event, sorry, but basically like case to case, right? So it depends on how dirty the unit is. Like in this case, we actually did not charge the customer, just a good customer of ours. So we just, we didn't want to really get into that. We're pretty flexible with that. However, like this was one of the pretty much like the worst I've ever seen a bounce castle get dirty. Like it was really, really bad. And like for me to be impressed, like I've seen, like 20,000 different type of event over the last 10 years. And this was definitely number one at the top there in terms of dirtiness. Cost wise, it can range up to, $5,000 of cleanliness fees, right? Because I mean, think about it. Like I had 2 employees just working for an entire week and a half, just cleaning the unit, power wash it, soap, and then, scrubbing by hand, with a scrubber. And like, it's just a lot of work. It's not the kind of work that everybody likes doing, like there's regular maintenance on inflatables that is easy to do, right? You vacuum and you just kind of spray some cleaning supply on it and you just kind of wipe and whatever, right? That's easy, but like the scrubbing and, like power washing, it gets tough over a week and a half time, right? So think about if you have 10 of those after that, now that boom, and it's Edmonton too. So it's not like it's 40 degrees here where the water just evaporates in no time, right? So it takes a lot of time for the water to get out of the unit, and it's just a long process. So we want to limit this as much as possible, because here in Edmonton, we just are not made to be able to clean 20 units like this every weekend and they dry instantly, right? That's just not how it works there.
Yeah, no, you got it right there. No problem when it comes to cleanliness, and also the temperature.
That's right.
It's very unpredictable and usually it's cold.
Very cold.
Usually it's
always
cold or rainy or whatnot.
And this year it's just been crazy. In 2026, this summer, last year I was like, man, this is bad. Like this is a bad summer. And here we come in 2026 and it's 10 times worse, right? So, and if it's not rain, it's tornadoes. If it's not tornadoes, it's wildfire smoke. If it's not the smoke, it's the cold. And like, it just never ends this year, right? So, but it's like this for every company in Edmonton, right? So it's just tough for everyone. And, I was at the Great Outdoor Comedy Festival over the weekend, and I went to see Matt Rife, and the entire show got canceled just before he came in because of the storms, right? The great storms in Edmonton, and we had to shelter into the Kinsman Park there. And all I could think of is the Big Bounce Series is not the only company that's affected by this terrible weather this year. Like it's just everything that's outdoor is getting impacted by that. Getting canceled. They refunded all our tickets, and all I could think is, man, like I felt bad for them. Like it's just there's a lot of money, and time and energy put into these events, all for that to be canceled. 10 minutes before the main actor comes in, right? So it's a tough time this year in Edmonton. It's really, really hard to try and do anything outdoor right now.
All right. So any words of advice for people who are wanting to rent a bouncy castle or obstacle course from you guys? What is your advice?
Make sure you read the contract. You don't just sign at the bottom of the page. Make sure you read the rules. Make sure you read the operation rules as well. So in case of rain, what you need to do is all in the contracts. Make sure that you take the time to read this. It's super important. That could save you a lot of money. We don't like to charge people for that. This is not our goal. But eventually, when we charge our units based on how much cleanliness we're gonna have to do and stuff. But when there's added cleanliness into it, then sometimes we'll have to charge, right? Because it's like then we just pay to basically bring you the unit. It's not worth it, right? Like as a business, if I do this all the time, next year I won't be here, right? So it's so make sure you read your contracts. It's super important. And if you read the contract, everything should be good.
Okay, so to avoid the cleaning fee, what do they got to do?
They got to make sure that they fold the unit in half. Make sure that you don't see any of the interior of the unit, basically. So anywhere that you jump, make sure that you don't see that. It's just the bottom top of it that is actually seen at the top, because this is it won't let the water in. After when the rain is done, you just unfold it and plug the blower back in, and then it's all dry, right? It's super simple. You got to do it, right? It's probably a 2-person job, but I mean I don't know any party where there was only one person at the party. So usually it's pretty easy to find 2 people to just fold the unit in half and unfold it afterwards. So it's a very simple step. It's super, super simple. It just needs to be followed.
All right, there you go, folks. So if you were curious about what you got to do in the event of rain at your party, he just told you. So thank you so much for joining us on this video, and we'll see you guys on the next one.